So then we're getting on to our reading, and we're still busy with the great human potential, and we're still busy with the love of your life is you, and it is the energy of that which is you are seeking is seeking you. So we and last week we spoke about that women's value is either being a wife or a mother, or that is traditionally how where women would place their value. And if they haven't had those experiences, there will be judgments against self, or criticisms against self, or anything like that. But it's not, because that is not what gives you value. You are valuable just for who you are. But I want to say it's a collective conditioning that a perfect family looks like husband, wife, 2.5 children, living in a white picket fence, and that is now what a successful family looks like. Can't just be you on your own. It can't just be you with your husband. It can't just be this. It has to look a certain way. Then it's now comes to perfect and worthy and whatever. And it's not like that. So not all of us have had experiences like that. So it is to heal those parts that has this mistakenly thinking, be it the collective, and the husband's or the male worth problems is linked to money. So if money goes down, money is withdrawn, and money is quiet, then they go into a rattle because their worth is attached to the money. And if there's no money, they don't have any worth. But it's like they do. They're the one that has created the money. So that it's for them to strengthen their own inner worth, having gone through a bumpy ride or touch and go with that. And it's something that we discussed this week. It's like, if you watch those hero movies, superhero movies, so then it's this little boy that figures out, no, if he puts on this ring, or if he wears this crystal, or if he has this cloak or this suit, then he's a superhero, and then he can fly, and then he can do this, and then he can do that, and all that. And then the movie usually ends by that whatever gave him the power is taken away, and the wisdom that comes is, no, but the power has been with you all the time. It's not the ring that gave you the power. It's not the suit that gave you the power, or the cloak, or the crystal, or the whatever. It's you the power. You have that inherent inside of you. And it's the same with, and then they win, they beat the baddie, whoever the baddie is, without that. And it's that is what we need to realize. It's like whatever we've given power away to, or felt has got the worth, and we don't, or whatever. It's all within us. It's not the job that made you worthy. It's not the salary that made you worthy. It's not the circumstances that made you worthy. You are worthy. So if the things are taken away, it's to regain that, so that you can stand fully in your power, and then sort of be in communion with spirit, and taking those right steps forward and action steps when it is called for, because there's a lot of accolades to that. So we're talking about self-love. Self-love is something that you already carry within you. Like sometimes we think we have to work towards self-love, but it's always within us. It's we might not be looking there, but it's enough time for us to look within, find it, and let it grow. It is not something that you have to achieve, but rather you simply dissolve the illusory programs and filters that prevent you from experiencing more of that self-love. And there's so much in that sentence, because it's our illusionary programs and the filters that prevent us from seeing that there is just self-love. So it's that's I guess what the energy clearing work card is about. just to clearing those illusionary programs and filters that prevent us from seeing our manifestations and prevent us from seeing our own love and our own worth and our own strength and our own courage and our own whatever. The reflections that you receive through your relationships in the world will show you what programs still need to be integrated. Life remains real. It's like, I'm just laughing at Beryl because after facing the one obstacle, then they throw another obstacle. It's like, okay, you've mastered it in this area of your life now. Now we give it a little bit more personal and we put it in another area. Can you now copy and paste and master this one now?
But at least it stops me from sleeping my days away.
Yeah.
Keeps me working.
So it's a next level integration, you see? Okay. We can tell you what self-love looks like in the physical body. Radiant health. If you are giving yourself self-love, you are giving yourself source energy. Your cells are able to maintain health and vitality because they are receiving high frequency energy. The physical body is created by the energetic template. So any ailment in the physical body is a reflection of a lower frequency in your energetic template. Check in at your emotional level. If you are feeling any lower emotions like anxiety, depression, anger, and fear, there is a lack of self-love going on. At the mental level, if your inner critic is expressing any negative thoughts like, I am not good enough, or I don't deserve this, that is the opposite of loving self. You are not accessing the self-love that is contained in you. For the last 25 years, you have been told that it is time to reawaken. Well, we would like to help you with the practice of reawakening. It is something that you have to keep doing on a day-to-day basis, hour by hour, minute by minute, and eventually moment by moment. This is your focus for this year and on. Many of you will find excuses not to practice, often pretending that you are too busy. Are you really too busy to love yourself? Knowing the theory is one thing, but practicing and implementing it into the moment-to-moment reality is another. Practice simply means being aware at any given moment of where you are vibrating at the mental, emotional, or physical levels, and making adjustments, releasing judgments, and allowing more love to flow. Maintaining frequency is another aspect of creation that we have not yet discussed. You see, when you pulse out frequency, you must be vibrating at the same rate in order to receive it in physical form. And that's something that we spoke about this week as well, is whatever work we do on the spiritual inside of us in meditation, what we change on the inside, there's always a physical manifestation on the outside. It's always followed by something that you can see that's tangible. So I'm going to say the woohoo work, the work that is just in our minds, just in the spirit, just that what we do with source, just in our meditations, it is so powerful. It's the most powerful thing that we can do. I'm going to say our imaginary work is much more powerful than other work. Yes, we have to do the physical action, but it's like, so you see, when you pulse out frequency, you must be vibrating at the same rate in order to receive it in the physical form. And that's why it's so important to raise your frequency. And that's why one of the cards was do the energy work, so that your levels is up there again in whatever way, shape or form you are drawn to. Be it meditations, be it Tai Chi, be it, you just need to shift the energy. And that is another topic that I can talk about, energy, because when I started learning about energy, and that was sort of around about 2007, I realized how big the topic on energy is, because everything is energy. We are energy. Our manifestations are energy. There's so much that we need to understand about that energy. Our thoughts as energy. Our words has energy. Our feelings has energy. So, and that's why I love change. When things get stagnant, I become restless. But in my environment, I will move things around, because I know I need to move the energy around. So if there's no physical manifestation, then sometimes I just move the energy, and I move things in different places, and I bring more light in. Physical light, meaning drawing, opening up curtains, opening up the windows, burning incense. So when I change the energy, there's always a flow again, a flow of clients, flow of things. But we need to look at where can we change the energy. Because if you change the energy, what you change on the outside, it actually makes you feel better on the inside, and you feel more, you can feel it. And then it has an effect on the other things that you want to manifest. You can't pulse out high frequency and receive it when you are vibrating at a lower rate. You must be at the same vibrational rate. They both have to be aligned. If they are, you are going to receive what you are asking for. If you find that what you requested isn't showing up, have appreciation for what is. Consider it a gift. What is, and that's something that I spoke about yesterday also on the, how manifestation works. So sometimes a blessing in disguise when you don't get what you want. Okay, what is directly in front of you shows you your conscious and subconscious programs. As you integrate these, they can elevate your frequency to match that which you seek to create. In order to change where you are, you have to accept where you are. So if you keep pushing away that thing that you don't want, what you are doing in reality is charging yourself to it, and it is. It's like energy flows where attention goes. It's like if your attention is on what you don't want, you're going to charge right into it. So you have to change your attention. This is so true. Seen it over and over and again.
Yeah, don't choose the war.
Yes.
Choose the peace.
And then you run into peace. Even though there's not peace, you create the peace, and then the peace meets you.
Yeah.
Peace was just looking for you. Mm. The illusory state of that there's war was momentarily experienced, but you didn't fall for it. You passed it with flying colors. When you open up, acknowledge that lower frequency without pushing it away, and have appreciation for it. You neutralize the charge. You are no longer playing the game of victor-persecutor. Once you do that, the issue is dissolved. Signed, sealed, delivered. It's proven. So the next section on this is to do with relationships. Many of you have chosen to awaken at this time, have decided not to be in a long-term relationship for a number of reasons. For many, it was important for you to find your identity and be clear about your own energy. Thus, you placed your focus on self. Had you being in a relationship, the dynamic would have been very different. And if I reflect back, I can totally agree, because I tend to focus more on the other than myself, and I had to be more in myself so that I can really solidify who I am, what I'm here to do, so I'm not influenced by others. Following a traditional path, you make it easier to plug into mass consciousness and all about the beliefs that come with that. As you increase your frequency, some of the programming around isolation and avoidance of intimate relationship is coming to an end. With the upshift of the energies following 2012, contracts of that nature have changed as you activate your 5D programs. It will be vital to work on self-love in order to experience the kind of deep, meaningful relationships you seek. To create a relationship that stems from the higher consciousness perspective, you have to work on the integration of the masculine and feminine within you. Again, this requires you to first and foremost establish a connection with self. You have no choice. Those in the external reality are simply there to add to your physical experience. They don't complete it. They don't define it. The connection that you are seeking is with source energy. And to experience that, you have to connect with self first.
That which is seeking you, or you seeking, is source energy.
Yes.
So we need to.
Yes.
Totally.
Yes.
Thank you. That spoke to me.
Good. Generally speaking, in an intimate relationship, you are more open, and that openness and willingness to feel love brings you closer to source energy. That amazing sense of bliss and love that you feel is not there because of the other person. It is coming from you. How's that for a mind bender? Read it again. This is an important one. So I'm going to start the paragraph again. Generally speaking, in an intimate relationship, you are more open, and that openness and willingness to feel love brings you closer to source energy. Then it says, that amazing sense of bliss and love that you feel is not because of the other person. It is coming from you.
We have to now learn that we are complete. We do not need someone else to complete us.
I've learned that. But I
Yes.
for now I really know that. There was a wishing to know and be that touch and go on that energy, but it's now definitely there.
We are complete.
And what I've realized is I like my energy. It might sound funny, but it's like in the past I would like the other's energy, but this makes sense to me that was me sending them that energy and it bouncing back. I thought they were the source of that energy, but it was my energy. It's like if I look at certain of the relationships, I like the energy that comes from me, the love that comes from me. I love my love. And there is love for self and there is love, but I mistakenly misidentified it as coming from them and not actually from me.
Yeah, that the mistaken belief is that somebody else can make us whole.
Yes, or make us feel loved. And the love, we are loved. Yes. Okay. You're feeling more of what source energy is. And it happened because you're willing to open. So the key is to open up. Barbara, did you want to say anything?
No, just on the relationships. I just wanted to share a thought that I had this week, actually. You know how often I say to you, I don't know who I am. I'd love to know who I really am. And actually, this week, I was reading a book by Edgar Cayce, and it was very difficult to understand. But I realized while I was reading it that I am everybody around me. In other words, all aspects of the people around me are who I am. They make up who I am. So if somebody is irritating me, it is an irritating aspect of my personality that's reflecting back at me. So I'm actually a combination of the different reflections, if you like, coming back at me. And I know that it's something that people have been saying, but I never really got it until this week. So, and then the other thought I had was about, also from the same book, and it wasn't a thought of my own, it was something came in the book, about how constant irritation, how sometimes you are forced to be in an irritating situation, how the analogy was an oyster and a grain of sand, and how the constant irritation of the oyster and the sand produces the pearl. And that also made a lot of sense to me. So yeah, those are my two relationship thoughts for the week. Thanks.
That irritation, but it's quite an interesting one to voice now. It's important. Because we don't always see the pearl while that grain of sand is irritating the oyster.
Absolutely. And I got something out of this too, is that I saw the irritation in someone yesterday, and as you say, it is an irritation that we've often seen in ourselves.
Yeah.
But yesterday I was able to walk away from it without getting so entangled in it. And so, yes, the pearl of great prices in that. Thank you, Barbara.
Okay.
There's a valuable lesson in it, and when we hold on to that imagery, it's okay. So there is a benefit, because there is always a benefit in what we go through, but we don't see it then, and we gain benefits from going through stuff, and then when we see others going through it, we want to prevent them from going through it. Oh, shame, they're experiencing irritation. How can we save them from the irritation? Then you are robbing them from the pearl, because it's a pearl of wisdom that they have to learn through that.
Yeah.
There's more lessons learned today than,
yes.
than yesterday. Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you.
Okay.
The lovely part about this, we can share so much.
Yes.
And it helps us all grow.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Yeah.
Yeah. But when that relationship ends, you think that you will never experience that sense of bliss again. Is it possible through self-love and openness to receive? Can you experience that feeling of bliss without a partner? Absolutely. And I've said it many times, it's like I get myself to being in love without another. Because you can be in love, you can choose to be in love. We always thought that it is invoked through another, but it's like earlier on, I would get myself to feeling in love, to being in that vibration of love, and then there's no one around me. But then I will drop out of it again, and then I'll go back to it again and drop out of it again. But it feels like I'm more often there than not. And it's such a nice feeling that it's, I want to say, not externally generated, because when you place that responsibility on another, oh, I don't feel in love anymore. It's like, now, through what hoops are you going to jump to make me feel loved? Then it comes and goes, and you don't keep it, contain it. It's like you can be there, and others can feel that energy from you, but it ultimately is generated from self, and it's such a valuable lesson to know. You will feel it not only towards another person in partnership, but towards everyone and everything, and that is so. It's like I really love everyone that I come in contact with, because I can see the God particle in them, and if that wakes up and that starts, that light gets ignited again, it's such a beautiful experience. There's no limit to, and even in my relationships, the experiences that I had, I don't have a type or a look or a personality even, or whatever. It's like I've realized that I could love anything and everything. So for me, loving comes very easily. So yes, it's just as Beryl said, it's like sowing the seeds of love, strewing it on the path to everyone, our adversaries, our friends. It's like when you do that, meets you again. That energy meets you.
And the other thing that's just struck me too, the person who is irritating you is loved by God or Source, the same as you are loved. So there's no judgment from Source, there's only judgment from you. And that is another thing that's come over the last few days, that they are loved by Source the same as you are, and it's only you making the judgments. That's a lesson I've just learned.
Our purpose is to help you find that self-love. Start by writing a letter about what you appreciate about yourself. That's an interesting one. Your qualities and your kindnesses. Would you be afraid to tell someone you love that you think what you think about them? So why not do it for yourself? Now, take your qualities or the appreciation for those qualities and focus on them. Those qualities are in your energy field, and when you show more appreciation for them, it will help you create more of these qualities in your life. So that's a valuable exercise that one can do, because in the past, my worthiness was attached to something else, and I always I started off with the programming of felt not good enough, not worthy, all that. And I thought the only thing that I do well is love, but I add no value to the love that I give or the person that I am or the energy that I have, because we don't get taught that way, so we don't appreciate that. But as things fallen away and was removed and was let go of, that was all that was left. And I can remember the day when I realized, oh wow, my love is special. The way I interact with people is special. My energy is special. It's not more special than anybody else, but having, I'm going to say, self-value for that. Seeing as something that is valuable, because we don't always see our value. We think a value must be attached to stuff, and it's but seeing it within. So although in the book you saw that you are a reflection of everyone else, and he was speaking about the irritations and stuff, Barbara, it's also to focus on, but the good in The good that you see in them and the abilities that you see in them is actually also within you. It's to recognizing the good. It's like my mom and dad was a dynamic team when they were together. My dad would have certain ideas. My mom will follow through with action. And together there was like alchemy, and they just created, they made millions. When they parted, my dad said, no, because he knew my mom had this ability. So he said, no, I'm going to keep it all, and you go on your own. She struggled to get up on her feet again, and she had ups and downs, but I know she will get there again. So sometimes we think what the other has, we don't, but we have that, and it's to foster that within us so that we can, I want to say, rise to the occasion. So there's a lot of good within you that you just need to start acknowledging, seeing your own alchemy abilities, creating change, making something out of nothing. You just have to feel them in your body instead of having your inner critics tell you that you are not good enough and you are not lovable or not smart enough. But when you stop and focus your energy on what you appreciate, you will get more of these things in your life. Most importantly, your inner critic will have less time to give you those negative thoughts. Fantastic. Quiet. What will happen after a week of this? Your interactions with other people will be vastly different because, once again, they will be a reflection of your loving self. For example, if one of the qualities that you focus on is peacefulness, you will find that people will say things like, I feel so peaceful and calm when I'm in your presence. Or if someone is very agitated, when he comes in contact with your energy, he will become more peaceful. If one of your qualities is being a loving person, then what you will see is more opportunities for being loving, and you will have people come into your field that will also be more loving because that is where your focus is. So can you just grasp the importance of what are you focusing on? The good juiciness, the powerfulness, the lovingness, what is it that you want to express from yourself, vibrate from yourself? Because that is going to meet you. It's looking for you. Like when we truly get it, we can see the reason why things happen in our lives. Everything that I talk about is designed to do self-reflection. Because when you do, you say, and it gives you your own aha moments. What you are inviting you do is to work the 5D way instead of the 3D way. There is a part of the human mind that will not realize until a conscious awareness is present. Once you have that, you can let go if you choose. That is the part of the construct of the game that you have set up for yourself. That is the 3D model. The 5D model of creation is alignment with frequency. So by working with the 5D model, you are simply realigning yourself with the essence of what you want. That is the part of what you are guiding you towards by pulling out those qualities that you want and that you appreciate in yourself. This will help you put less attention on things you don't want. You are now able, because you have elevated your frequency, to activate your inner technology of 5D creation. We are going to walk you through the inner technology of this creation. Number one, first, think about something that you would like to create. And it's a perfect time with this new moon and 11/11 energies and the lucky Friday the 13th. This is the most opportune time to discuss this. So I'm very glad that it's here now. Then, second, now, what is the essence of that which you like to create? What is the frequency of that? Meaning, what does it represent vibrationally? Freedom, joy, excitement, stability. Then, what we'd like you to do is imagine yourself aligning with the frequency in your physical body. You don't have to think when or where. Just be in alignment with the essence of what you want. This model of creation is much easier because you are working with frequency and not a mental image of the form. Remember, you are a vibrational being. In 5D, you are simply removing the mental component. So, if you want to create change in your life, what we say to start here with a love letter to yourself and see what happens. We challenge you to do this for the next 7 days by spending 10 minutes every morning writing yourself a new love letter. Then focus on the frequency of the quality that you have written in that love letter. If there is a resistance, then go back to the 3D model of visualizing the form. If you find that you don't want to write a love letter, ask yourself, why are you resisting it? To keep safe from accessing more of your power and more of your love, it's a control issue. Noting the source of your resistance will show you what lower frequency programs you are still running. The natural flow of all things is towards source, the source of all that is. So if something is difficult, there is a resistance. If you are in divine flow, it is easy, easy, easy. And that's something that we spoke about yesterday or on Friday about manifestation and you wanting to fill this well and then saying no, but there's all these obstacles, and then we said no, but water follows the path of least resistance.
And I've been working on that. It's quite amazing.
Oh wow, awesome. So it's like we have to just get into the flow in communion with Source and allow Source to flow to us, knowing that we are worthy and flowing with the energies and not create the resistance. And if there's a resistance, then we just, like water, we just go around it. We don't have to face it. We don't have to slam it down. We just go around it.
And it flows gently.
Gently.
Yes.
Yes. It's to see, are you flowing or wanting to control where this water is going? Because it's going to go where it's going. So when you're in the flow of it, you can appreciate it and you can steer it more or less to that frequency that you want. If it is stability, because I've been calling for some stability, although I like change, too much of a good thing is also not a good thing. Sometimes you want stability as well. So, but as you become stronger, you are more secure within yourself and then you're more secure in your offerings, in the energy that you bring to the world, and you see it actually in the response from the people. I can see it over and over. So I can highly recommend that. But I like this writing yourself a love letter, and I think I'm definitely going to do this week.
I found, now we're going back some time, and Barbara will remember, at one time, Crown was always telling us how magnificent we were. And I could not say I am magnificent. I just could not say it. And eventually I could say it to myself very softly. And then eventually I could say it to some people. But then it was always, I am magnificent, loved by God. And afterwards, after a very long time, it was fine that God loved this magnificent creature. But eventually I could say, I am magnificent, loved by me. And now I could write a letter to myself, but before I would never have written a letter, not a chance in hell.
Anybody would like to add, what are they taking away from today's satsang about?
Yeah, just one more thing about the self-love. I think also to sit and make a list of the things you like about yourself is also valuable, as I suggested, because, you know, if you write something positive about yourself, you will immediately pick up whether or not that's how you really feel about yourself, or if it isn't really what you think about yourself, and then you can sort of work out why, you know, why you feel that this is wrong about you. Anyway, so I find that great. I don't know if I'm going to do the love letter, but I'm definitely going to I'm definitely going to make the list this week, or start it and keep it and keep adding to it, because I think
Barbara?
that's very valuable. Thank you.
Barbara, if you don't want to do the love letter, my challenge to you is write what you love about other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's coming. So at the end of it, it's like you said, as you read the book, you could realize that you are actually everyone, a reflection of everyone around you, and they're a reflection of you. But you, I want to say, associated, or it was easy for you to accept, okay, the irritation in them is also irritation in me. But my challenge is, if you can't write a love letter about yourself, then write what you love about others. Because inherently, that is what you love within yourself. It's in there as well. You just haven't acknowledged it. So if it's difficult to write it about yourself, write it about others, and then just test it. Just test it for the truth. Do I have this within me? Or no, it's like, I have this within me. Where's the resistance of accepting that I have this?
Okay. All right. I'll do that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Love it when a challenge is accepted. Okay. You ready for the guided meditation? Anybody still wants to say anything? All good?